Hello, Randi Rain here, and I believe it is time to do a complete breakdown on the DustBot. This is
Randi's Robot Garage.
It's been almost 6 years now that I've been doing these videos restoring toy robots and other mechanical toys. The DustBots here were one of my very first videos that I ever did. Don't go watch them, they're horrible. That's why I figure it's time to do another one. So I'm going to do a complete breakdown. I'm going to make some tires for it, and I found other issues, so let me get started. Now, one of these is the Radio Shack version, and one of them is just the TOMY version. I just realized, though, now that my broom is cracked and the bristles are falling out. Well, that ought to be fun to figure out how in the world to fix that. I'm going to start with this one, too. Go ahead and take this out before any more of them come out. And the battery compartment looks fine. Please, I'll start at the top here. Or better yet, I'll just start at the bottom. I think I'm only going to take out these 4 to start with. This might only do that. And so far, all the same screws. Well, looks like these got to come out too. Does that last one? Nope, last one doesn't need to. Alright, let's have a look in here. But let's go ahead and get this off. Let's get this off. Let's see. That's nice. It's like a double. There's a little bit of a flat spots on there. Does this one have a flat spot? This little guy. Oh, that's fine. What about you? There's another gear up here, but it's an idle gear. Yeah, so that's going to be fine. Okay, let's move back to this thing. There's a little mesh. Got a gear here. Well, this is interesting. This is the first I've ever seen this. This right here. When you close the door, the motor will be able to turn on. That way you don't stick your finger, I guess, down in here. Oh, that's just a kill switch. Okay, well that's interesting. The wire broke off of it, but yep, everything's coming apart. It's getting a thorough washing. So yeah, that little dot, it's not a button, it's just part of this. That's funny. That's a lot just to get that. It could be much simpler than that. Well, that's an interesting gear there. Glad I don't have to make that. 2 rubber gears. But I do see a tiny little fracture starting right there. I'm going to nip that in the bud. Alright, let's take this motor apart. So I've tried all kinds of stuff, and I think I like 3-in-1 oil the best. A little dab in there. Yeah, they're working. So with the battery, you have to put them in a series, and so they just put the switch in the series part here. Kind of like that. Something's going to have to jump across here anyway. Might as well make that the switch. Yeah. Right here is where the solder broke off, because negative is coming into there, and the negative has got to go to the motor and the light. Light went in here. Let's look at how this works before I completely put it together. So here's the motor. It's going down and has a gear on it, but it's also going straight to the fan that goes right there. Most of the time when they use rubber gears, it's just for slippage, so if something stops it, it doesn't grind the gears. I mean, that's probably what it's for here too, but also you could not get this in if they weren't rubber, to get it all past everything and get it down in there. So they also kind of need to be rubber. And there's 2 coming off there. One goes to here, goes to here, goes to here, and then goes through down here on the bottom. The other one comes here, goes to this, goes up to the worm drive, and it spins here. And this, with the little offset nub here, that goes into here and moves the arms back and forth, while at the same time this is oblong right here, and so it's pushing the switch together. So this tire is not so bad. May be able to mold it if I can get it off. Okay, or shoot it across the room. Oh yeah. And then the center one here, it's not bad at all either. But will it come off? Oh yeah, there we go. I guess let's move on to the Radio Shack version. Yeah, that's what I thought. This gear right here is one that I made because it was cracked. That's a plastic gear that I made. It's just a 10 tooth, but it needs a bigger bore size. This in there. Yeah. That'll be just fine. So how do you fix a broken broom? Well, I found these brushes at Walmart. Got a whole bunch of them for $1.50. First attempt. Take some tape. Now I'm just going to try to yank them out like that. It was a lot easier than I expected it to be. There's a little piece of metal in there. Maybe I'll just shove as many of them in there as I can. I'll shove those in there. Actually, I mean, that's about as good as it's going to get. And then this gear here slips down into here. It's turning that crown gear, which is turning that other gear hooked to it. That one is turning this right here, which is connected, which is turning this one, which is hitting this little small one down here, and which is turning the other one. These two screw drives here are turning the wheels. Also hooked to this wheel is another crown that goes to here. Take that off. We'll put this one on. So yeah, this wheel that's at 90 degrees, this is the edge detection. This is how it keeps from falling off the edge. So there's two working DustBots, a TOMY version and a Radio Shack version. Now, interesting enough, they do have some sort of bump and go action to them. Anytime they get off kilter, that center 90-degree wheel will engage. It's not the best bump and go action, but it does work. But mainly, it's edge detection is what they do. And it works pretty well. So you ready to see it clean my desk here? Here we go. We'll start with this one. And they actually work as a vacuum, so go figure. If you like this video, I sure would appreciate a big thumbs up. If you want to see more, of course, hit the subscribe button. I want to thank these people here. These are the patrons. These are the people bringing you the DustBots. The Radio Shack and the TOMY Radio Shack, I guess. So anyway, I thank them oh so very much. I couldn't do any of this stuff without them. So if you'd like to become a patron, of course, there are links. Anyway, that was
Randi Robot Garage.